everybody. Welcome to Mondays with Mayday. I am Jeannie May, and this is Mr. Perseus, and he is spending the day with me just hanging out in the office. He wanted to make a debut on this week's podcast, so I figured I would trap him and make him hang out with me a little bit. But this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about transformations, and I had the opportunity to spend this last Sunday at a new church, and it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, and it was so wholesome, and I found it revitalizing because I've been on this whole process lately about just transformation and about God working in my life and God working through struggles in my life, and it was so interesting to me that even though I was still traveling, even though I went to a different church, even though I went to this place completely out of my normal routine, the pastor still found a way, God still found a way to talk through the pastor, to talk directly to me. And so it was really just encouraging and exciting because for me, it just showed me that no matter where you're at, God can always reach you. God will always reach you, and God will always find you. And so I was at this church, and the pastor started talking about the hardest part is transformation, right? The hardest part is allowing God to come into your life and help transform you and make you something new and restore you. And he said something specifically that stuck with me, and it was, hurt we carry, hope we find. And I wrote that down because for me, I've carried so much pain in my life. I've carried so much hurt. I've carried so much trauma. Most of you know my story. You know I've gone through a lot more than most people should have to go through. But through all that hurt and through all that pain, I've always had hope. And when he said that, it just really stuck with me because I've always had hope. I've never felt alone through all my pain. I've never felt like God abandoned me. I've never felt like, no one loved me. And that was just really interesting for me. So he also said, which was very bold of him and very brave, and I absolutely loved that he said it, was, if you're going through hell, don't come out empty-handed. Because even through the struggle, God has something for you. And that really just resonated with me, especially in this season of my life, because I've gone through so much different pain and so much different struggle from, all my abuse as a child, to broken relationships, to battling cancer, to beating cancer, to more abuse. And now recently, I just found out that my tumor is growing again. And I wasn't scared. I wasn't terrified. I didn't feel pain or hurt, or I wasn't questioning God through it. Instead, I just was consumed with peace, which was so different for me because I feel like even though I'm about to go through another struggle, even though I'm about to walk into another battle, I'm not empty-handed. I have God's shield of strength on me. I have God with me through this battle, through this process in my life, and I just have so much peace. He's surrounded me by so many people that love me, by so many people that support me. I just have so much peace getting ready for this next battle. And I don't know what's to come from it. I don't know what struggles I'm going to be faced with. I don't know what all to expect, but I do know that I have absolute peace going into it. And this is a first for me. And so last week when I went in for my checkup and they found out that my tumor had started growing, we talked about different options. Of course, the first most aggressive one, because I have a very rare form of glioblastoma tumor, brain tumor, the very first option they wanted was chemo. They immediately wanted me to start chemo to aggressively treat it and kill it. And they even talked about doing surgery again. And for me, I've already done that twice. I've gone through chemo 3 times and radiation. And I'm getting older. I'll be 30 this year. And so I don't want to put my body through something if I don't have to. I don't want to cause that kind of pain to my body if I don't have to. So I wanted to get a second opinion. So I talked to my neuro team, my personal neuro team that's worked with me since I was 14. And Kevin said, why don't we try a high dose steroid treatment to help with the inflammation and the pain and kind of tackle it that way. And if there's no progress within 3 months, then we could talk about another option. But I feel like knowing you, knowing your body, we've done this in the past, your body responded very well to it. Let's try this first. And I was like, perfect, let's do that. And there's some other factors that played a role in it, of course, as well. But through all of that, I was just amazed at how much peace I had. Of course I cried. Of course I was scared. Of course I had an immediate wave of just, oh my gosh, again. But then I took a step back and I prayed. And I said, God, whatever's about to happen, I know you're going to walk through it with me. I know I'm not alone. And I know you're going to use me for greater good. I know this is you working through me to impact other people, and I'm ready for it. If I had gone through this even a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have had a whole different mindset. And the reason for that is because God hadn't transformed me yet. See, I've always been a Christian. I've always practiced my faith. I've always been very church focused, but I've never been a godly woman. I've never truly allowed God to restore my heart and make it new. I've never allowed God to truly reconcile me until recently. And the moment I completely gave everything to God, the moment I stopped trying to drive my own ship, the moment I stopped being in control of my own life and truly gave it to God, not only did He transform my identity, He transformed my lifestyle. He transformed my heart. He transformed my mission. See, what we fail to realize is when we think about allowing God to take over our hearts and restore our hearts and make us new, we think that that old version of us is going to die and it's never going to come back and it's just going to disappear. But that's not how it works. See, that old version of you is always going to be there. That old version of you is always going to peak up. It's so tempting to go out with the friends and go have a drink. It's so tempting to fall back into your old ways and start cursing or go have meaningless relationships or fill in the blank, okay? It is so tempting to just fall back into that old pattern, that old lifestyle, because it's easy and it's familiar. But when God reconciles you, when God restores your heart and makes you new, when God makes you a new person, when God totally just transforms your life, you don't allow Satan to pull you back into that lifestyle. A note I wrote was, the old you will always be there. Don't allow Satan to pull you back in. Allow God to guide you. Once He makes you new, your new path is going to be so much better than anything you've ever imagined. And I've experienced that. I have truly experienced that in just the past couple months, when I've truly devoted myself to Christ, when I've truly just said, okay, God, I'm not hiding any parts of me anymore. I'm not ashamed. Come in, make me new, restore my heart. Fix me, Lord, fix me. He's truly came into my life and has truly fixed me. See, I'm not driven by fear anymore. I'm not driven by a scarcity mindset anymore. I have no idea what's going to happen. Absolutely none. If you would have told me this was the life I'd be living a month ago, I would have told you were crazy. Not only has God brought people into my life that I have been praying for my entire life, not only has God welcomed new relationships into my life, not only has God welcomed family into my life, God has changed my path. God has changed my direction in so many different ways. I don't even understand it. I don't even comprehend it. But what I do know is this is all a result of truly giving all my fear to God, of truly just wanting to glorify God in everything I do, from relationships to friendships to lifestyles to my own personal identity. My mission is now focused on God, and I'm allowing God to work through me. With my tumor growing, it's terrifying. It's scary. No one wants to hear that they have cancer or that their cancer's coming back or that it's getting worse. Not only is it scary for me, it's scary for my son. It's scary for my friends. It's scary for my relationships. It's scary for everybody around me and involved in my life. But when I have absolute peace going into it, And when I'm on the phone with them and I'm saying, no, it's okay. God's going to work through me. God's going to use this. This is so much greater than just me. God's going to use this to impact so many people. It immediately just gives them a sense of peace. And it immediately just makes them feel restored and secure. And that kind of peace is like a blanket, and it just consumes you, and it just brings you so much happiness. And when you allow God to truly just transform you, He's going to bring you so much peace, so much love, so much kindness, and so much hope. And that is the most important part of this. Hurt we carry, hope we find. Your hurt from your past is always going to be there, even when you turn to God. It's always going to be there because that is a part of you. That is a part of your story. That's a part of your mission. That's a part of who you are. You shouldn't be ashamed of your past. You shouldn't be ashamed of the hurt that you've gone through. I have been broken. I have been beaten. I have been dragged through the mud. I stole from people. I hurt people. I lied to people. I manipulated people in my past just to try to survive. I was so stuck in a survivor mindset from being abandoned as a child, from being hurt, from just everything. And that's still a part of me. And it's so easy to want to turn back to that kind of lifestyle because that's familiar. But I have hope. I have hope for a new future. I have hope for a new life for me and my family. I have hope that God's going to continue to work through me to impact future generations to come. And I have so much love and so much kindness in me that it's literally pouring out everywhere I go. And I am so excited for it. The best compliment I've ever gotten in my entire life made me cry like a baby. And this beautiful man that God brought into my life told me it, and he said that he sees Jesus in me. He sees Jesus through me. He sees Jesus in everything that I do. And I literally just cried like a baby because it was the most beautiful compliment that I've ever gotten in my entire life. And not only was it beautiful because I've always wanted people to see Jesus through me, it was beautiful because I'm a reflection of God. It was beautiful because I get to shine bright like a light because God put that in me. God gave me that hope, that kindness, that love, and it's overflowing onto everyone around me, and people can actually see it. And that's all I've ever wanted in my life. And so it's just been such a beautiful, beautiful blessing that I get to share that with people, and that other people actually see that. And so I want to encourage you today. If you're going through a dark time, if you're going through a struggle, if you're going through any kind of pain in your life, don't allow that to turn you into a bad person. Don't allow that pain and that darkness to consume you, because God is the light that you need in your life. God will transform any darkness that you're going through. God will transform any pain, any struggle that you're faced with if you allow Him and His light to shine on it. He is the peacekeeper. He is the Prince of Peace. He will bring nothing but peace and love and joy to your life if you truly welcome Him in, and truly let Him do that. So I encourage you today, if you're going through something, just pray on it. Truly, truly give it to God. Truly be a discipler of Jesus, and truly allow Him to just restore your heart and make it new. Because once you allow Him in, once you stop hiding parts of yourself from God, once you stop being a Christian and truly just allow Him in, He's going to make you a new creation. He's going to give you a whole new perspective on life that you never even realized was possible. He's going to take all that hurt and replace it with hope. And He's just going to make you such a beautiful, beautiful, way more beautiful version of yourself than you could have ever imagined. And I can't wait for that. So I wanted to share that with you because I just had such a wonderful weekend and such a beautiful experience. And everywhere I turn, God is reassuring me that He's there. God is affirming that I'm not empty-handed, and God is there. No matter what's to come, no matter what I'm facing, God is in my story, in every part of my story. And it's just so beautiful to see that I truly have given it to God, and He is showing me in way more ways than I ever thought was possible that He's not leaving me, that He's there, He's present, He sees me, He sees my pain, He's answering all of my prayers. And I'm just so excited for what's to come. And I just truly wish that you could feel the hope and love that I feel. And if you have any questions about what it means to pray and what it means to truly just ask God into your heart, please reach out. I would love to have that prayer with you. I would love to have the opportunity to share God with you, and I would love to help you get closer to Him so that you can experience just a glimpse of the light that I'm experiencing. With that being said, I hope you have an amazing week. I hope that you make it your mission to make someone's day better. And like I said, if you need any help with anything, if you have any questions, if you just want to talk, please reach out to me. I would love to be a prayer partner for you, and I would love to just spread God's light through you. So I love you. I hope you have a wonderful week. And thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Mondays with Maybe. Bye.